After having watched the first two episodes of Uramichi Oniisan, I am really not sure of what this show is, but I kinda like it. What's up, y'all? It's your man, That Dude, bringing you guys another video. I'm giving y'all subscriptions down below. You don't want to miss anything. Just go hit that button. Also, if you would, smash that thumbs up while you're down there. On its surface, Uramichi Oniisan is just about a group of young adults who are working on a kids television show. If you've ever seen The Wiggles, or Yo Gabba Gabba, or just any of the shows where you have adults in costumes and they're dancing around and shit, then you know exactly the kind of show I'm talking about. But when you actually watch this anime, you realize it's so much deeper than them just working on this television show. When you get into what their lives are actually like as they work on the show, you realize that almost all of these people are deeply dissatisfied and unhappy with their lives. Our titular character Uramichi is constantly having situations where he's talking to the kids on the television show, and instead of staying with the theme of this being a kid-oriented show, he's hitting these kids with like some real adult shit. When it's kind of inappropriate, he's talking about when you're searching for a job, you're going to run into roadblocks and you're not going to get the job you like. And you're going to have to get accustomed to things not going your way. And he's telling kids stuff like this, things that you generally don't tell very young kids. And you can tell that the guy is just so unhappy. And he even says so himself, how having to come into work every day and force a smile and force a happy voice is just constantly killing his spirit. And over time, he's really become depressed, because once you look at his life, it is the life of someone who is depressed, where there's, I think in episode 2, he comes in one morning and he's super happy, but as soon as he changes to his work clothes, his outfit for the show, he is depressed again. And the guy, you can tell that working on this show is just, working on the show isn't what's making him depressed. It's his life in general. It's him being dissatisfied with his life. And working on a kids television show was his goal, I think he'd be happy. But you can tell that working on this kids television show wasn't something that he put as a goal when he was younger. This is just something he wound up doing, and he is thus just unhappy with his life. It isn't just Uramichi who is unhappy with his life. You also have Utano and Ikateru, who are also very unhappy. Well, actually, I can't say that Ikateru is unhappy. The guy is basically just an idiot, so it's kind of hard to say whether he's unhappy or not. But Utano specifically is very unhappy with her life. There was one scene that I found very telling where she's sitting on her phone and she's scrolling through whatever the show's version of Instagram is, and she's seeing all of these other women and couples getting married, and she basically laments how she's been dating a guy for 5 years and he hasn't proposed to her, and she's unhappy with her life. And also, she is a singer, someone who tried to be an idol, tried to be a jazz singer, tried to be a performer, and none of those things worked out for her, and she has basically fallen to working on this kids television show, singing these dumb like nursery rhymes for these kids, or these dumb songs they make up. And this is what her life has become, and that is why she is unhappy. She is dissatisfied with her love life and with her professional life, because this is not where she saw herself when she tried to become a professional singer. From the way I'm describing this show, you would think it's some kind of drama, but it's really not. The show seems to want to be a comedy, but I don't think I've ever seen a comedy where all the characters are so unhappy. And that makes for an interesting dynamic when most of the comedy is centered around these people just being unhappy. And a lot of the comedy comes from people not wanting to cross Uramichi. Apparently the guy can be very vindictive and he likes to lash out sometimes. So it is like these guys are trying to avoid getting on Uramichi's bad side. And then a lot of the comedy just comes from them being generally unhappy. And we see that their unhappiness just isn't with their work. It also goes over to their personal lives, especially with Uramichi. He doesn't really have anything in his life going for him except the fact that he likes to work out and he works on this show. That seems to be all the guy has, which just lends to the fact that the guy's depressed. So it is a very interesting show, and I can't say that I like it a lot, but it has my interest right now. I like the first 2 episodes enough to keep watching. And I'll see if the comedy can maintain a certain standard where it can make me laugh some more. Because these first 2 episodes, they weren't like uproariously funny or anything. They were just funny enough to keep me interested. And I want to see more of the lives of these characters, and whether or not working on this show is going to develop into something they can like go further on, or are they just going to constantly be unhappy with their lives? Like, well, how's that going to work for them? Because if the show is just always them working on this show, being unhappy, I could see that maybe being an unfulfilling watch, like towards the end of the show, if there's no kind of development in there. Like maybe they find some happiness working on a television show, but hey, we'll find out. That's all I have for you in this one, guys. If you enjoyed this video, go hit that thumbs up, and if you are so inclined, subscribe and share. It would help me out a lot. If you didn't like the video, or if you disagree with anything I said, let me know why in the comments. We can talk about it. I respond to almost everything. Also, feel free to follow and hit up on Twitter @DatDudeAnime, and I'll see you guys in the next one.